You know I've been telling people to stay woke, pay attention. People's like, well, what do you mean pay attention? Right. I'm telling you to pay attention. This is the stuff that's happening. I'm putting it on my page that I'm on Berkshire in my district talking about housing, infill housing with Benlick. It's a cooperation partnership with the county, and I wasn't invited.
Wow.
And some people had called and said, oh, there's a meeting, there's a press conference. I ain't get no email. I ain't get nothing. I ain't get no notification. But when I found out it was a press conference, you know I had to show up.
Come on.
It's in my district.
Come on.
How do you come in my district and do something that dastardly?
Disrespectful.
So disrespectful.
Yes, sir.
But they say I'm the mean. I'm the mean one. I should be shaking everybody's hand when you do stuff like this.
That's right.
You know, oh, he don't shake their hand. Oh, he's not united. He's not. Do y'all see what they doing to me? But it's always, and it's unfortunate, because I hate to put race into it all the time, but it's the black man. You know how you treat me like this? What did I do to you?
Right.
I'm doing my job. I'm vigilant in serving the folks in my community. But I just want to let y'all know.
Come on.
This acting mayor said that he made this happen. Well, you know, I'm not just going to tell y'all something. I'm going to show you something.
Show it to us.
So on October 24, 2023, the Office of Strategic Planning, University District Land Housing, infill housing, I supported something that was going to be happening in my district regarding infill housing in the University District. And it was about 9 to 12 infill homes from October 24th, 2023. Wow. So this didn't just happen. And then we actually approved the transfer, because we had to transfer the land to the county so that they can do their stuff.
Right.
Well, that didn't happen until May 15th, 2024. So y'all all know that the acting mayor has only been the acting mayor since like October, right? So not like this time. So, you know, when I say pay attention, I'm giving you information because at the end of the day, you know, I take very seriously when people call me honorable. I really do. That's something that I'm even trying to teach my grandchildren. Don't lie. Don't tell the truth.
That's right.
And I try to do that. I do that all the time. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to play games with you. I'm not going to spin. I'm going to tell you the unadulterated truth. A press conference happened in my district. Nobody notified me. And then they acted as if I wasn't even involved in the conversation. I stood there and I had to do my, my Louis Farrakhan smile, because when he'll give you that smile, and then he'll light into you.
Right.
Looking at it like, dang, okay, I shouldn't have did that to him.
Yeah.
But I don't appreciate you doing that to me. And some of the folks, and I want to thank those on Facebook who responded and said something, because, you know, one thing that happens too, y'all, I can use some help. You know, sometimes we leave ourselves out here all by ourselves. And here I am trying to fight for us, fighting for this community, fighting for everybody in the city. You know, many things I've stood up, it's not just been for the university, it's been my district. But some of those things like the school zone cameras,
that's right,
that was for the entire city, how we were mistreated. So at the end of the day, I'm going to show you video. I'm going to show you the documents that show he wasn't involved in this process whatsoever, but he told you all that.
Yes.
He told you he was involved, that they made some things happen. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. They're deceiving you. They're lying to you. They come in your neighborhood because they're desperate for the black vote. And someone said on my Facebook page, well, you know, they always come out when it's time to vote. It's the truth.
That's true.
And so, you know, I want you to pay attention what's happening. It's the same old thing that's happened. And if they really cared about this community, it wouldn't look like it looks right now. And when you're going to see some things, we're going to be doing some things, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, this is a very, very important election. And people are going to tell you all sorts of things, and they may come out with little things against me. But at the end of the day, I'm going to show you the facts, the information about what I've been doing. I just haven't been sitting on my hands quietly. I do my job. I take care of my district. I respond to the residents. And that's what I'm going to do as mayor. I'm not going to change that. You know, that's so important. And that's the one thing that, as I'm being interviewed constantly, it's about transparency. It's about delivering to the residents. It's about making certain that what we say is what we do. Because I can tell you, and you all, many of you already know, you go to the city for this or that, there's this confusion, there's this misinformation, you're trying to figure out what, even as far as the proactive rental inspections. Now they're coming out saying they're doing X, Y, and Z, but several months ago I can show you video where they were saying they couldn't do it. They had to get all these people trained. But those are the things that are happening to people who are in the least position to address these issues. So I'm going to continue to be vigilant. I'm going to continue to show you the documentation about what's been happening and what I've been doing. So it won't be just what I plan to do. It's going to be what I've been doing. And many of you have seen me do it right in the University District. So, if you want to come on and join us, if they want to come and talk and join this campaign, we're here.
That's right. But the bottom line of it is, I don't understand, why we don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't understand. And like I said last week, that we wait. You understand, until things happen, and then once they happen, we're stuck in the mud.
Right.
See what I'm saying? We have to be proactive on these types of things, and I'm glad that you're bringing these things to us early, so that way we can identify them and be able to adjust to whatever that thing might be.
Right.
Now, everybody know that during election time, folks gonna come in here and tell you all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You already know that. You done seen that for a number of years. As you already stated, the bottom line of it is that our community wouldn't look like it look right now if we was paying attention.
Right.
Okay? And so some of us has gotten complacent to this whole situation now.
Yeah.
Well, they numb to it. They're like, oh, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway.
Right.
No, well, we need to stop that.
Right.
Because it's gonna cost us. You understand? Our property value is gonna go down. Our kids are gonna be leaving town. And so therefore, these are the type of things that we need to continuously pay attention to be able to help you in this endeavor right now before it's too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm trying to be upfront with everyone on the importance of this. And it's not just about me, it's about us. And we keep going for the okie doke. People are talking, again, this is laughable to me. They always talk about what I don't do or what, but they never talk about anybody else.
Right.
They talk about, he's not mean, he's mean. He don't shake their hands. Well, do they go into other people's district and not tell the council member? You know, that's the type of stuff that is just blatant. And you think that if they do it like this for me, what do you think they're gonna do to you? Come on now. I think in Ray, it talked about, scratch a lie, find a thief.
Right.
Remember that little comment?
Right.
I was like, that's kind of real. Because again, I can tell you when my interaction with my grandchildren, and they're so precious to me, and I try to teach them the same values that my father and my mother taught to me about not lying, not telling stories to people. It's important. And I hope that you all understand integrity is on the line.
Right.
The city, you've been through this, many of you been through these interactions and people telling you stuff. And, I know it's a gentleman who's trying to get some property and he said the city told him to do X, Y, and Z. I want to bring integrity to the process so that when we say something, is documented, it's something that we've recorded, we keep our word. Just like with Bray Miller. We gave this man all this money, $561,000. He was supposed to have a contract with us for 2 years. He decided to get out early.
Wow.
And he's not going to possibly pay us our money back.
Exactly.
And if it was been a small business, would they been given the same benefit? Probably not. Today we had a hearing, and unfortunately I was able to be at this hearing, which I should have been at, but we got some lines crossed. But the hearing regarding the sheriff that hit 6 cars. And now people saying, I don't know anything about it. This happened over a year ago. But so many of you have said to me, and I agree with you, if it was one of us, we would have been under the jail cell.
That's right.
But because we're not connected, some people get passes. And that shouldn't be able to be. It should be justice for all, not just justice from some. And even with Carrie Horn, I'm going to bring up Carrie Horn because, again, in her situation, from what she's dealing with, she didn't answer a court order, which you probably should have answered that. I'm not
exactly.
But the fact of the matter is, it seems as though she's being piled on. And again, it's always us. No one's defending her. As a matter of fact, I remember one of her hearings, and she was just walking through the crowd of police officers. And I remember them chanting, "Fired, fired." Just so disrespectful to the black woman to mistreat her in that way. And again, we want everybody to be treated fairly. Everyone should be treated fairly. And that's the one thing that I'm going to keep talking about. I know the issues of our city. I have a clear plan of how we address them. Now, some people have written stuff up That's cool, but I want to explain it to you. I want you to be able to ask questions like on this live broadcast. If you have a question right now, please put it on here because we're going to respond to it because this is my way of interacting. We're going to be knocking on doors. We're going to be coming to your neighborhood. We're going to be doing all that phone calling so I can hear from you what your concerns are because I want to hear from you sincerely. This is just not a political thing. I'm not going to get in office and just sit and not be responsive to you. I've done it since I've been in office for 11 years. I've responded to the residents. I've constantly done that. That's my job. And if we're not doing that, then we're not doing a job, and we probably should find something else to do. We probably should be a dog catcher.
Right.
If we're not going to do this job.
That's right. And the bottom line, again, for me, is this in terms of the campaign. You know, I'm always going to stick to that campaign situation where it talks about, you know, these people are coming in our community promising all kind of stuff at this point in time when they know they're not going to adhere to it. As you've already stated, and I don't want this to go underscored, as you've already stated the fact that here it is, our community wouldn't look like it look right now. And there's other communities that we also have to keep engaged and keep things going and keep them on an even keel as well. So right now, don't be believing all of that stuff that they're coming in here telling you now. They want to feed you all kind of different things. You understand that's going to go on now. But right after this is the same man that's sitting next to me that's been fighting on the front line for a number of years. And we can't underscore that. But they're going to tell you not to listen to him. They're going to tell you that he's crazy or he's this or he's that. But you know what? I tell y'all all the time. Stop killing the messenger and listen to the message.
And it's something that has been historical. This ain't nothing new. They always demonize the brown man. You know, it's always been that way. Even with Mr. Eve, when he ran in 1977, they demonized him.
That's right.
You know, and it's something that constantly happened. And it's part of it, you know, I'm glad that God has revealed some things to me. You know, as I said to you all, I've gone through this process, never thinking I would be going through it. But as I've gone through it, I've seen some things, and God has revealed some things that there are certain people that can't say nothing because they got a job. And that's unfortunate because, you know, other communities stand together.
Yes, they do.
They like this.
Yes, they do.
You know, y'all can say what y'all want about the Bangladesh, the Arab community, the Burmese community, even the Caucasian community. They standing together. But us, no, we ain't doing that. And we have to, because that's the only way our community is going to get better. It's not going to get better with somebody who's going to come in, take pictures with you. Oh, we good, like we pals. They ain't your pal. They just setting you up. They setting you up for the letdown.
Come on.
You know, I'm going to be showing you some things where I grew up and understanding what we've had to deal with for so many years. And I think, again, one of the things I'm bringing to the table is transparency and honesty, integrity. That's so important. Yeah, you got to understand those other pieces. We got to understand the budget, which, again, we talked about that today at one of our budget hearings. And I asked the police commissioner, so what are we going to do as far as reducing the amount of overtime? That's a big number. The overtime for police and fire, when you see that crime is down, that the fires are down, why do we have all this overtime? These are dollars that are precious that could be used in our neighborhoods to get curbs. I know many people in my district talk about curbs. Those are the types of things that, again, we got to make sure our eye is on the ball. And stop looking at what people are saying about me, that I don't shake people's hands. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday, I did shake their hand. Even though I shouldn't have, but I did. Because why? Because people say, if he didn't shake their hand. But you saw how dastardly they were to come in our district, my district, an active council member, and have a meeting and not include me. What is somebody standing up for me on that? I wouldn't go to that to no other. You know, I think as council members, we're sensitized to that. I don't like to go to somebody else's district without letting them know, because it's out of respect.
That's right.
You know, you let them know, hey, I'm going to be in there doing something. It's nothing other than I'm working on a program or something, but you're respectful. And so for them to do that to me, you know, it just speaks volumes. And I think, again, when I tell folks to pay attention, this is the type of stuff I'm telling you to pay attention to. I didn't know. The acting mayor and the county executive came into my district on something that I've been working on with infill housing, which is a positive thing. You know, and the person that asked me the question, did I put a shovel in the ground? I sure did, because it's in my district. So I did put the shovel in the ground. Now, I couldn't get it back down in, but, you know, I did do it because this is in my district, and I've been a part of it. I'm not an absentee council member. I'm very visible in my district. So, again, for that to happen is just, you know, something that, again, folks, pay attention.
And my thought is this. That's not going to be the last time that happens.
Oh, yeah.
So just be ready. You understand? As they say, and where I'm from, they say, put your full armor on, okay?
Yes,
put
sir.
your full armor on
Yes,
so
sir.
that way you can be ready for all the wiles because they're coming. You understand? And don't believe that they're not coming. And so sometimes you have to bite the bullet a little bit, regardless of the fact, I always talk to you about going in the belly of the beast.
Yes, sir.
Because that's where it's going to all happen at.
Yeah.
You understand? And some people are going to try to get you to come out of pocket, as we say.
Yes,
you
sir.
understand? And you don't need that,
Right.
okay? Just keep that demeanor that you got and keep doing what you're doing for the people, and I guarantee you the people is going to be the one that's going to save you.
Yeah. And so I think my friends at Mindframe Media, because they keep saying, hey, man, you need to keep that smile because it's genuine.
Right.
Listen,
Right.
I always smile. I'm not a mean, evil person. I have joy in my life.
Right.
I'm grateful.
Thank you.
I'm grateful every day. And so I'm going to keep on smiling. It ain't no fake smile. It's a real smile.
That's right. Pearly white teeth. Come on, man.
So we have a good time on this show.
And that's all I want to do in life.
because-
And you know what? The life is so short.
Yeah.
People need to start understanding the fact that you got more time behind you than you have in front of you.
Yeah.
You understand? And so when you start thinking about those things, you want to get these things right. Right now, I'm in this fight for my grandkids, my kids. I'm in this fight for that reason because I don't want them to leave Buffalo. I might need them. You understand?
Sir.
I might need somebody to walk me to the bathroom, Councilman.
Listen, and I want to pay, since you mentioned about life is so short, Wallace Wilson, who everyone knew Wallace from the Golden Nugget.
That's right.
Man, I lived around the corner for the Golden Nugget, and I didn't go to the Golden Nugget. I'm not going to say I wasn't always in there, but I know people would park their cars on our street.
Exactly.
Because it was so packed.
Exactly.
And so I want to honor his family in his passing because he was somebody that looked out and helped others. I'm grateful that he had the money, the ability to do it without it being no political thing.
That's right.
This was something that he had top-notch band coming through there. He had Cool V. He was having his little parties there. And so you gave people an opportunity. When we own our stuff, we can do things like that.
That's right.
And that's so important. So I want y'all to know, when you recognize him and recognize what he's able to do, he owned his stuff.
Yeah, and he was one of the last survivors in this game.
Yeah,
you understand? We had a number of events there.
Yes, you did.
Okay, in terms of the grassroots organization, we had a number of events there, and he always rolled out the red carpet for us. Wonderful gentleman. Well, he's one of the last of the ones that we talked about the week before as related to those folks that worked at Republic Steel, Bethlehem Steel, that finally got engaged to something and did a lot of good entertainment for us in our community. I used to be on that dance floor. I'm going to tell you the truth. I used to be on that dance floor a few times, you understand? But it was a wonderful thing back then, Now, sometimes in life, you wind up changing partners, you understand? And so now my partner, I got a different partner that I'm dancing with right now.
That's right.
You understand? But it's okay. But I still reference him as well.
Definitely. And also James Fox, who I grew up with, just a good guy, passed, and so our prayers are with his family. And like you said, life is short. I'm in this game, I'm in this race to change our community, to really bring integrity, to make our kids feel like somebody cares about them. And I'm going with my whole heart. I see one of our team members, Doris Corley, is here in the audience, and Doris has been on the front line for a long time with block clubs and block club organizations. And she's a block club leader. And those are the type of people that I'm going to be grabbing onto, saying, I want you at the table. It's just not my table, it's our table. If we want to improve our neighborhoods, we have to band together, come together, put our agenda together, and be clear on what we want, what we want to do. And it's right now we have finite resources. So again, we have our budget hearings for the next week. Monday will be I think Monday, I'm going to put it on my page so that you know. I want people to please, if you can, if you're on Facebook, pay attention to these hearings. This is where this is the most important part of our job is this budget. We're still looking at a huge deficit. They're still looking to sell the parking ramp. They're looking to this bed tax, which some of the folks are saying, hey, we don't want a bed tax because the traveling community says we don't want to do that because it's going to shoot us in the foot.
Right.
That people are not going to come to Buffalo because of this text.
Wow.
And people can tell you what they want.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, for us to be doing something like this right now, instead of looking internally, saying what can we trim, what type of expenses can we cut to make it where we don't have to be looking at 8%, 9% or 5% increases in taxes for folks in our community, is very important. Again, the proposed 8% tax is really disconcerting to me, because at the end of the day, that's hurting some people who are seniors, hurting people who are already struggling. Those are real issues. And we have a question?
Yes, so Doris asked, how are you planning on addressing and engaging with residents outside of your district now that you're running for mayor?
One of the things, well, this is one of the platforms that we're looking to do is as far as having this talk show every week so that people can come on and ask questions. I know I've been getting a number of invitations to go to certain areas. And so again, if you are watching this, you have a block club or an organization that you would like me to come to, please send that information. A lot of the other folks have these connections, and I don't know every different district, every different person, but I do have a list of them that have already invited me. I have one for South Buffalo.
That's correct.
I'm going to be going there. I'm looking to do something in North Buffalo. And so wherever, if you are watching this, please invite me, because I'm willing to come and listen to your folks and have conversation, because I will go anywhere. It doesn't make a difference. Just let me know. And this is your way of connecting with me and letting me know you would like me to. Now, you can't send an email to my office. Let me tell you that. You cannot send a political email to my office. You have to send it, and I'll put it. You can send it to go on my Rashid NC Wyatt for Mayor page, and you can send that request there, or you can put it right on right like this. Right, it's social media. If you put it in there that you would like me to contact you to come to your block club or come to your organization, you can put it right on the Facebook Live, and we'll definitely contact you on that.
And we're getting that kind of information from individuals that we're phone banking with right now.
Yeah.
We're getting that kind of information. They're talking about, hey, we need him to come here, and we need him to come there. And so these are the type of things that we're going to do throughout our campaign, in terms of knocking on the door and canvassing and those types of things, sending them literature, asking these hard questions about what's going on in their community, because each one of these communities have something a little different that they're looking for.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we have to be cognizant of, that fact that every community is not the same.
Right.
Some of these things is going to be a little different. Some people might be thinking about the leaves. Some people might be thinking about the gaping lots that we're going to address at some point, Councilman.
Right. And so we're going to continue to engage folks. And again, please use this platform to engage us, because, you can put your question right into the box, and we will answer it right now. And we're going to continue to go out. You got another question?
Willie Pugh said, "Stop him if he's lying. I had no lies."
I appreciate that. We're going to be in Willie's show today, about 5:30. So we're looking forward to coming there. And I appreciate that. Stop me if I'm lying, because that's not what I'm about. I'm about telling you the truth. We've been playing games for too long, and our community has suffered. And again, I want to focus on us. And I'm not just saying us as black people. I'm talking about us as a city. Those the areas in which some areas, not just on the east side, feel like they've been neglected.
Exactly.
So it's just not because of black people. Some people in the Bangladesh community feel like they've been neglected.
Exactly.
Some people in the Arab community, the Burmese community. So everybody is seeing something different. But it's my job to make sure I go out and I'm vigilant to make sure I get that information from those folks. Because at the end of the day, if we're one city, then we should be coming together.
That's right.
And that's so important that we come together and have these conversations. And that's why we're doing this. Every week we're going to do this show. We're going to talk about different things. We talked a little bit about the budget today. But again, you can go on Facebook Live on the Buffalo Common Council and pay attention to the budget. We're going to have a lot of conversation, because today was just the hearings. Next week is going to be the workshop, so it'll be a more intense conversation. And the one thing that I continue to ask is about the overtime for police and fire, which again, I'm going to be showing you some charts and some information on that as well, so that you see there's some real issues there. And I don't understand, if crime is down and fires are down, why we continue to pay this overtime outside of the contract. Now, there's some some contractual overtime that we must pay, but the amount that is contractual versus what is actually paid is kind of obscene. Those are the type of dollars that we could be using, helping small businesses, getting, curbs and those types of things. So please pay attention to those things. And I want you to pay attention specifically to some of the areas like permits and inspection has always been an area that I think is that we need to focus and have an agenda as far as what they do and how they accomplish it, because that's the one area that if I ask my office staff, Doris or Sandra, they would tell you that that's really a big issue as far as the quality of life, permits and inspections, ensuring that some of these absentee landlords who don't live in the city,
Right.
who just ignore us, are paid. They have to pay the consequence. When I started in the university district, one of the biggest issues was the parties in the University Heights. They're getting these $1,500 fines. We ain't got too many parties.
Right, right. Listen, this is me right here. He's got the issues, ladies and gentlemen, nailed down. I'm talking about the campaign. 3435 Bailey Avenue, right at Highgate. This is where you can come to help this campaign. I'm telling you, we need your help. Right now, we're doing fantastic. They didn't think we were going to make the ballot.
Yes,
but
talk
we
about
own
that.
the ballot.
We own the ballot.
We own the ballot and we're running. Now, folks done went on the ground. They don't want to talk to me now. You understand? So the bottom line of it is right now, I just need your help to come in here and help us make these phone calls, do the canvassing, put out the signs. I need your help.
3435 Bailey Ave. We would love to have you. And when you come here, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be enamored because we work as a team.
That's right.
We if you have an issue or a conversation, we take that on because that's something that I need to prepare myself on. So it ain't no big eyes, little U's.
That's
it's about
right.
us.
That's
How
right.
do we make and improve our city? For too long, we've been bamboozled. We can't go along with being bamboozled anymore. With all the things happening right now in the federal government, this is a very, very critical election.
Yes.
I can't tell you enough. And so, I said this earlier, God is a revealer.
Yes, he
And
is.
so sometimes I see
he
that
is.
why certain people ain't with me because they got a job.
And he done revealed them to you already. Sure has.
And so again, that's why our community looks the way it looks because people who are able to stand up are standing down because of because they had jobs in those type of situations.
Thank you so much, man.
So we're gonna keep this going. I'm so grateful to be able to come to you every week Thursday. And again, I thank my friends at Mindframe Media for their support because this is how we support one another. This is an important election, and you know what happened with Kamala, right? Y'all know what happened, right? Some of us stayed home, and some of us went with the Republican, and now you see the mayhem and the chaos.
Right.
Don't make me say I told you so.
Yeah.
Come and support me. Let's get on the same page. Let's make sure that we uplift all votes in the city of Buffalo by doing the right thing and standing together to meet the needs of the least of these in our neighborhoods, because there's some that can afford 8%, but there's a whole lot that can't. Join us next week.
Man.
Rashid NC Wyatt for mayor. I'm back to It's a Trip.
We love you. We love you.